Alright, this is Shoot Steel with Robin Hood's Playground. Today we're going to do the color change on the controllers, and we're going to be using SMD 0603 LEDs. And let's talk about them for a minute. When you get those, they're going to be, there's a positive side and a negative side, and on the back of each LED will have some marking. Some have a T with a long portion there. Some the pointing part is shorter. Some have triangles, but the only thing you got to remember is that they point to the negative side. And they're the SMD 0603 LEDs. Alright, the next thing you have to do whenever you get your controller taken apart, and I can show you that real quick over here. We use a T8 security screwdriver, and there are 7 points on the back of your of the controller. There's 3 that are on this side, 3 that are on this side, and one that's not so obvious. It's actually right there under that label. And then to take it apart, I simply place it flat on a surface, crack the top up, flip it over, and that leaves the buttons in place. And to work with it, what I'm going to do is take the rumblers off and the sticks, take them off. And one thing to keep in mind is that there's 2 sizes of a rumbler. The large side goes on the left. So large to the left, small to the right. Okay, now you have that ready to go. Now I've opened mine up, and I've identified it as the older matrix version, and the easiest way to tell that is there's a crystal in the middle, which the new CG does not have. You can also see this large raised plastic, and but it is the old matrix style. Okay, so assuming we have the matrix style board, the layout for the positive and negatives LEDs is right there. So if you want to pause and copy this down, okay. Now, assuming that if you didn't have that and you had this style board, notice the one without the crystal in the middle and without the little piece of plastic with 220 written on it. You have the new style board, and that's called the CG, or Common Ground, or New Style, and that would be your layout for your LEDs. If you want to pause and copy that down, do that now. So now, when we get to the soldering portion, the LEDs will come in strips like this in various colors, and but if you have 4 to replace, I wouldn't recommend buying 4 at this point. So I'll take one out. No. And what I use is 2 different sizes of solder. One size solder, it's a little thicker. This is the part where I'm going to remove the original green LED from the board, and the thinner stuff to apply the new LED, the color of my choice. Solder hot, and what we're going to do is just float it off. So I'm going to put a goodly amount to cover both sides of that LED contact, and as you can see, it came right up. Now, put that down, and you have to maneuver the little LED. And now the positive is facing the improper way, so I'm going to put it down. Okay, a little bit of solder on my tip. And now a little piece of solder for the other side. I just used the back of the controller and the rubber from the inside. Put the battery on to test. There's no reason to reassemble the controller to make sure the lights work. Okay. Let's see. There's a little problem with that one. No big deal. Normally it's just adding a little bit more solder from one side to the other. And of course, when you're trying to do this for a camera, it doesn't really work. Alright, perhaps it was the other side. Add a little more solder to this side. There. And we'll dab more on this side. Be done with it. And there you are. Some lights. Now what I'd like to do is show you really quickly how to reassemble this. Assuming that not very tricky to reassemble it if you do it this way. Make sure your sync button still presses freely. Rumbles in place. At this point, that's what your controller should look like. Now, if you indulge me and walk over here, I'll show you some other examples. There's one that's all blue. Pink. One of my favorites. Red and white. Here's one all white. For the gators out there, orange and blue. And gold and green. Not Xbox green, but LED green. And here's an orange case with blue lights. I want to thank everyone for watching this and having the patience. Have a great day. Hope this helps.